Hello, all the Garbears, and welcome above and beyond and around the world. Welcome to another edition of the Garbear Review. Yes, it is football season. I am gearing up, and it is cold outside because it is fall, and we're ready. And honestly, what better way to start the fall season with a Kevin Smith movie? Yes, Kevin Smith. He directed it, he produced it, and he wrote it. I'm surprised he actually didn't star in it myself, but that doesn't mean a Smith was not in this film, because there were actually two. Yes, I will tell you that later on in the review, but yes, we're going over Tusk. Let's see, it was a very interesting movie because, let's just face it, Kevin Smith happens to do amazing stuff and bizarre stuff and crazy stuff. Just look at what he's done. I mean, Jay and Silent Bob alone still has me in stitches within my childhood, from my childhood, and Tusk is pretty much right there with everything he's done. If you haven't seen actually his previous film, I believe it was Red State. Go check that out. Fantastic film. This is basically the other side of the spectrum, his comedy spectrum, and it's fantastic. I loved every second. It was super Canadian, and I mean super Canadian. There were so many jokes about Canada and just, I mean, they didn't destroy it, but it was enough where it's like, wow, I cannot believe that's being said. And it's actually kind of funny to actually see some actors who are Canadian in this film. You actually had, I don't think Johnny Depp is, but he was in this film. He actually makes a sweet surprise cameo in this. You don't really notice it until he takes off the shades, and maybe you can hear it from his voice, but I definitely knew it from the shades when he took it off. And then you had Harley Morenstein. If you don't know who that is, Epic Mealtime, YouTube, check him out. It's hilarious. It's awesome. He actually has his own television show now. I don't know where specifically, but he does have, with him and his Epic Mealtime crew. He also has a gaming channel as well, Epic Gaming Time, I believe it's called. You guys should check that out as well. And then you have Genesis Rodriguez, still sort of a newcomer. She's been in a few films here and there. Justin Long, who comes back from like nowhere. Last time I saw him, I think he was in Die Hard. I think. I don't even know anymore. And then a huge addition from left field, like completely from left field, Mr. Haley Joel Osment. Now, if you don't know who that is, you better look at your nerd card and pass it up, because he was in AI, Sixth Sense, Secondhand Lions. I think the last thing we saw him in was, I believe, Sex. No, wasn't that? I don't even remember what the last time I saw him. I think it was in Alpha House. It was like kind of a mini series that they had, and he was also on American Dad for an episode or two. But we'll probably see him more. I believe he's doing a little bit more projects into the future in the next few years, and probably the rest of this year. Um, it was kind of cool to see him back, from little kid from Sixth Sense, and now he's, Haley Joel Osment. It's kind of weird. Man, he got big. He got fat, yo. He got fat, and I'm with a PH. I mean fat. But I digress. His acting was actually kind of funny to watch, especially against Justin Long and Kevin Smith's writing. It was actually kind of funny to watch that. They also, now, like I said before, there are two Smiths in this film from that family tree. You have his daughter, Harley Quinn, and you have Johnny Depp's daughter, who's also one of the Clerk girls, who I believe they're getting a spin-off. From what I'm being told, those two are getting a spin-off of their own movie with Johnny Depp himself. Yes, he's going to be in another Kevin Smith movie, and he plays the same character, Guy Lapointe, in this movie. So that should be interesting. And then you have his wife, actually, who plays a waitress, which is like kind of cool. Like, you don't even notice it until like you look online, or maybe he tells you through Twitter. And then Ashley Greene apparently makes a interesting cameo as a character. She doesn't speak or anything; she just reacts. And then you have Matt Shively from I believe that's him. Um, I'd have to do the research, but he's from that Kiki Palmer show. It's probably not him, but I'm just pretty much guessing by this point. You should definitely check. Honestly, you gotta check this out. It's Kevin Smith. I wouldn't say at his finest, but it was interesting. The suit, the rubber suit, it was definitely made of rubber. It wasn't CGI, which I probably think it would have been better. It's really hard to detect on what would be better or worse for what he did with this film, with the suit. But it's basically a skin graft suit, rubber suit around Justin Long, and it was really bizarre. If you watch Doctor Who, it kind of looks like the Zorbaloft, uh, that weird people sucking monster. I believe from the David Tennant era. It would suck a lot of people inside of his body, and the heads would show up on like it was disgusting. It's kind of what it looked like. It was really disturbing, and it didn't really look real because it looked like now walruses go in water. Now every time it went in the water, I thought it was going to float because it looks like an inflatable. Basically, it looks like they just put Justin Long inside of an inflatable suit and just filled him with air. That's basically what happened. At least I think what happened. The storyline is actually interesting because it gives you a little bit of a twist. The problem is that it's really predictable of what's going to happen because again it's just I believe Kevin Smith, what he's trying to do is trying to make this into a parody film, which is kind of what it is. It's sort of parodying Human Centipede, which is sort of what it is, I guess. Except it's a walrus, and man, did they get the right guy to play the creepy dude who does the surgery. He did a fantastic job. He really creeped me the fuck out. It was actually very interesting to watch. I would want to see it again. It's definitely one of those ones where you have to watch it. You should watch it again. Not you have to, but you should watch. You should try to because you may miss out on something because you're either laughing too hard or you're just like, wait, what? It's a real fun movie, especially if you're a huge Kevin Smith fan. That's pretty much who I'm going to recommend it to. I don't think anybody. This is like unless you're willing to do something like completely out of your repertoire, go see it. I mean, don't see it if it's completely out of your field or out of your wheelhouse. If you like comedy, if you like Canadian bashing, I guess, and you like Kevin Smith, see this movie. You'll actually really enjoy it. I actually enjoyed it as more than I thought I would, because I heard nothing about this. It was basically playing off as an independent film, and Kevin Smith doesn't particularly do that per se, but it works out well, and it's a really fun film to watch. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Like, subscribe to my channel. You can do that right below here. You can also check out my website the link is in my YouTube channel as well, so you can check that as well. Our next adventure, I have no idea what it is, but I'm hoping it's going to be Transformers. Hopefully the schedules with our special guests will be able to mix up, I guess, or synchronize, I guess. Synchronize is the word I'm looking for there. So I hope that works out, and I hope he comes in and we can do the Transformers review because it's almost on DVD by now. So we have to get this done. But stay tuned, guys.